everyone, how are you? I wanted to do a video today talking about seed starting. So it's come to my attention that much like myself, there are some other parents who are with their kids now 24/7. Our children are 2 and 3, they're very young. And so I thought it might be nice to have an activity you could do as a family where you wouldn't want to kill each other for about 5 minutes of the day. So we're going to talk about starting seeds today. It's great to do, even if it's just you in your home. It's a perfect time of year to get some things started, and then you can watch it grow. So it's the perfect activity for right now. So the first thing, and this is going to be especially important if you're doing this with young children, you want to be sure you have some wine. You might be more of a beer drinker or a cocktail, whatever. You just want to have your drink handy. Right, we'll have, the kids are outside, so we'll have that there, ready to go for seed starting. The next thing you want to do is pick your seeds. So sunflowers are a great option for kids. They grow really fast, the flowers are beautiful. Depending on the size, some of them can get about 8 feet tall. They're really striking, will go in any flower bed. You can put them in a pot. They don't need great soil, and they're fun to watch grow, add some color to your garden, and they attract some birds to your garden as well, which is kind of nice. Today we're going to be growing a few things for clients of mine. We're going to be growing basil, which grows really well here in Tulsa. The nice thing about growing basil in a container is once it starts getting hot, basil tends to want to flower and go to seed. So you can just bring your container in and extend the life of your basil a little bit. And then we're also going to be planting artichokes. And artichokes are a perennial plant. They take up quite a bit of room, but they'll come back every year. You'll get a few artichokes. These from this batch will probably not produce the artichoke until next spring. So it's kind of a time investment, but they're beautiful plants and artichokes are delicious. I will also be planting an extra one for myself because my ungrateful chicken that just had a $155 vet bill and has never laid an egg proceeded to eat my artichoke plant out of my garden. So we'll be planting some of those. So the first thing you want to do is pick a container. So any container would work. There's Jiffy pots. You can make your own pots out of newspaper, compostable pots, seed trays. What we're going to be using today in this demonstration are these little pots. They're about 3 to 4 inches in diameter, a nice size for seed starting. The most important thing is that you want really good drainage in your pots, and that's why I like these guys. They have lots of drainage holes. And what I'll do is set my pots in a dish or a tray of some kind, and then I pour water into the dish or tray, and that's the only way I water my seeds. It discourages bacterial growth on the surface, and it also encourages the roots to go down to the bottom of the cup, and that's what you want, is roots that are getting really strong, long, and healthy. You can also use, I've used plastic cups before, or the small size solo cups. They work great. You want to be sure to poke lots of holes in the bottom again to get good drainage. So now you have your seeds, you have your pot, and we'll pick our soil. I use organic potting mix in here, about 3/4 of the way full. And then what I'll do is take, this is seed starting mix, and I'll sprinkle about 1 inch or so of that directly on top of this container mix. The reason I'm doing this is seed starting mix, if you feel the difference between the two, is going to be a softer, lighter texture, and it's going to feel more airy. And what's good about that for tiny roots is they can grow in there really easily. It won't make your seed sprout and then be forced to get around large pieces of bark or gravel. But once the little roots mature a little bit, then they're in a good potting mix that already has fertilizer in it, and those little roots will have plenty to go down and then reach for their water source. So you take your seed starting mix, and then you'll take a few of your seeds. So I like to sprinkle them in kind of opposite corners of the container, and you can kind of see I scatter them around in there. Reason being because you'll eventually thin them and keep the strongest plant or two in there. You don't want to be disrupting the root system of all of the plants in there. Sprinkle a few of them around. Probably 3 or 4 is plenty. If they're older seeds, you might want to do more because after a year or so, their germination rate starts to decrease. So you have your little seeds in there. Sprinkle a little bit more, maybe 1/2 inch or so of your pre-moistened potting mix, or I'm sorry, seed starting mix right on top of your potting mix layer there. Cover them up. And we'll do the same now for our basil seeds. A few of those. Take them in our pot. These are a little tinier, so it's harder to see, but just sprinkle right on in there. and then put a little more of the seed starting mix on top. Keep in mind I said everything is pre-moistened, and this is so you know how much soil is in there. It's not going to settle or float and roll over the top of your container. And then you also want some plant tags. I always have a bunch of these guys around. It's important to tag them somehow. It doesn't have to be a fancy plant tag. You can write on the outside of the container. You can use popsicle sticks, whatever you have kind of around, or stickers, but it's important to label them because a lot of seeds when they come up are going to look the same. So if you have more than one pot, you want to be sure that you have plenty of labels. Okay. So we have our labels in our containers now. So those are basically ready to go. If you need a little bit more water, you can spray them. You can sprinkle some on top. Otherwise, you'll just take your container, put it in a dish or a tray, something that'll hold water without flooding it. So you only want to keep the water level up pretty low. And then you have your plant all set to go. The other thing that you can do, if you don't have a greenhouse like I do, to create your own kind of mini greenhouse is take a plastic bag. These are just little snack bags. Cut the corner off so that you have some air ventilation coming out of that corner there. And place that guy right over the top of your container. So I'm not putting it on there tightly. You do want some air circulation. That's just going to keep the surface of your soil in your container from drying out. These guys will go in a sunny windowsill. However they get the most light and sun during the day, that's where you want to start your seeds. And then eventually, depending on what you plant, I have some tomatoes and a cucumber that I started here about a week ago. These guys are coming up, and this is what you'll get. So I hope this is helpful. Planting these takes a little bit of time, but it's fun to do with kids, and then they get really excited when they grow. I know our 3-year-old is just mystified that these guys get bigger every day. So it really is a fun activity. So I hope you enjoy. As always, if you have any questions about starting your seeds indoors, please comment in the comments section. I'm happy to answer questions. And otherwise, cheers, happy stay-at-home days, and we will see you soon back here. I'll be doing another video shortly, more on what cool weather vegetables we have still growing in our yard. Thanks, y'all.